was gonna take a sip of my drink. And then I hit live and I thought that was really weird. I used to do that when I was at work. Uh, I, for those of you who know or do not, I left my corporate job at the end of June. And while we were working from home since March, typically I would be, I don't even know why I'm sharing this, but all of the time I would be like eating lunch or snacking at my desk. And I'm like, oh, I have to call somebody. And I would pick up the phone to call them and I would take a bite of something. And then they would answer while I was chewing. Like, why would I do that? Oh, that's another live for another day as I'm working on 100 days of live. But tell me I'm not the only one who does strange things like that. Getting ready to call someone and then I took a bite of something, or I hit live before and then I was going to take a drink. Oh gosh, I probably say this 100 times a day, but aren't humans fascinating? I certainly think so. I mean, I look at myself and I'm like, this is really fascinating. Like as an observer of my life, going like, what is this? What are you doing? What are you actually up to here, lady? But that's not why I'm here today. Today, I want to chat about this saying it saves my ass a lot of the time, and that I don't know shit. And I want to preface all of this conversation. I should have like a disclaimer. This is not about self beat up. I'm not being like, oh, I don't know shit. It's about being humble. So it's not about self beat up at all. My daughter's been drawing on my whiteboard, so I try to twist it. You don't need to see what she's drawing. But it's not about beating myself up and saying, oh, you don't know shit. And it's also not about, how do I say it in a positive, but it's not about not owning my gifts, not owning what I do know. So I know lots of things. I have a ton of education. I have thousands of hours of training and development and experience and all of those things that I do know. So, but I like to put them kind of on the back burner, or pin them for this conversation, because I'll tell my clients, okay, what's your knowledge? Like, what value are you bringing? Make sure that list everything you know. What are you teaching? But for the context of what we're talking about today, I use this mantra. I'm like, I don't know shit. So, what does that even actually mean? Like, it sounds silly to say someone who's teaching and educating and coaching is like, oh, I don't know anything. But it's not about that. It's not about not knowing anything. It's being in humble curiosity with everything that I'm up to. And it helps me, and you, as you're getting to know me over my, during my 100 days of live, one thing I say a lot, I like to create mind tricks for myself to really create focus and get me on track. And this is one of them. If I catch myself saying or watching something or listening to somebody where I say, oh, I know. Yeah, I know that. Huh. Do I? And so I'm like, I don't know shit, actually. So, what does it look like to go into something and say, what if I didn't know? What if I put on the hat of the beginner, of the inquirer? Inquirer? Is that it? Anyway, and really come from the perspective of not knowing, of being curious, being humbly curious, putting aside an I don't know, or sorry, putting aside I know, or I know that, you know, and my question for you is, as you're reading things or watching content, um, do you notice that in yourself as you are growing your business or in your life with your kids? And this is really interesting because our kids could be like sharing something, but we could always be coming across as an authority, like I know this or I know that. And instead, sometimes, what would it look like to be in the question of whatever that is? What if you don't know shit? What if you don't actually know? And and not again, back to my disclaimers, it's not about that you don't know and have all this knowledge, because you totally do. And it's definitely not to beat yourself up with. So my question today is is short, but it's really a powerful lesson with ourself. And I've been manifesting like crazy, like an app, like a mofo. I'm sure that's a term that manifestors use. And like so much this year, it's just been nuts. But I'm certain when we're manifesting, we're just not like going like, I'm certain, I know all of this. And instead, what I've learned through this is like being in the question, being in like letting go of the resistance, in the surrender of everything, and saying like, I know what I want. I put that out into the universe already. I don't have to babysit it. The universe has got my back. It's coming to me. And I just can wait and be in humble curiosity. I can be in the question of whatever it is. And I can just be like, yeah, I don't know shit. It's fine. And I think part of it for me is ego, for me personally. Because I'd be lying if I said I don't love being right. I love it. I love being right. I just do. I mean, I know I do. And it's almost the big joke of like, oh, I mean, I'm right again? Weird. I hate being right. No, I love it. I love it. And because I know that's totally my natural tendency and totally my ego interfering there. So when I'm in that space of wanting to be right or thinking I already know, I get to be like, I don't know shit. And it kind of jolts me, and it's like, right, I don't know shit. Because the more I know, the more I realize I don't actually know shit. So I thought this was a fun topic for today, and hoping it kind of makes, starts that thinking about I know. So I'm curious, do you notice, do you catch yourself when people are talking to you like, oh yeah, I know, I know, I know, I know. And if you do, without judgment, just start noticing that. Just start noticing how much or how often you are saying, I know, I know, I know. And a lot of times, back to the manifesting in the universe, I think about it like this too. When, like when you're learning, or you're, let's say you're just watching this. You're like, yes, Jessica, I know this. Oh gosh. But notice that. And I'm talking about, not knowing shit, being in the question, talking about the universe. And when you're saying, I know, the universe comes and says, oh, okay, you already know. I'm going to move along. I don't need to bring anything new to you. I don't need to create a breakthrough for you. You don't need to have a realization or an aha, because you're coming with the thought of, I already know. So I would love to know, should I have done that? Okay. I would love to know what's coming up for you. Let me know. Tell me, do you notice when you say, I know, in the course of a day? And what does humble curiosity mean to you? I am curious. And like, what is the difference? Like, what does knowing feel like to you? Like, and I'm not like intuitive knowing, but does that feel like ego? Saying I know, wanting to be right? Or are you coming from the space of the curiosity and not needing to know, and your higher self? Yeah. So that's it. I love this topic. I love this quote. It is one of my favorites. Please, my invitation for you today is to borrow this. And like I don't actually know shit, and that's okay. And that just keeps me open and ready for something new. All right. Happy Thursday. Have a great day, and we'll chat soon. Bye.